On Monday, journalists across southern Nevada were all over the story that the National Finals Rodeo is leaving after 29 years. But that news turned out to be a little premature. The Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association is still negotiating with Las Vegas Events to keep the rodeo in southern Nevada. But will Las Vegas be able to match the preliminary deal the association has already made with a county just outside of Orlando? And can the city successfully replace the rodeo if it does leave? Alan Snell joins us now. He's a reporter with the Las Vegas Review-Journal, and he's been covering the story. Alan, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Dave.
The story has been all over the headlines for the past few days, and yet this is just one of hundreds of events in Las Vegas every year. So why is the National Finals Rodeo so important?
This is a major event for Las Vegas because this event is more than just a sports event. You get 17,500 people filling an arena every night, but you literally have 2 to 3 times that number of people who love the NFR, who just enjoy the whole cowboy culture and Western lifestyle, filling up restaurants and watch parties at hotels up and down the Strip. So this is not only about a sporting event, it's about an event that literally takes over Las Vegas during a time of the year when the hotels on the Strip are actually quite slow.
Okay, so how many people are we talking about? How many people does it attract?
Well, according to the folks at the Las Vegas events, they're saying about 200 to 300,000 people are coming into Las Vegas to watch and enjoy all the events and all the ancillary activities related to the NFR. And that number clearly outstrips the number of people who are actually attending the event at the Thomas and Mack Center.
Okay, but I guess when you add everybody up, we're talking about a lot of revenue. Any kind of an idea of how much revenue?
Well, the number that the Las Vegas events folks have been telling us is that it's $60 million in non-gaming economic spending during the 10 days. So that's $60 million coming at a time when there's a seasonal slow trend at the hotels and the casinos on the Strip. So, sports economists are often skeptical of some of the economic impact numbers that are kind of tossed around. But in this case, these are people coming during a time of the year in Las Vegas where those rooms might not be filled if it wasn't filled by the folks coming for the NFR.
Osceola County, Florida made a pretty generous offer. But what are they promising the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association if they move the NFR to Florida?
Well, I spoke with the chairman of the Osceola County Commission on Sunday evening, and he said that that very same day, the commission met in a rare Sunday meeting, and they approved a memorandum of understanding, which is a formal document that commits the county to providing a 24,000-seat arena, as well as $16 million worth of compensation, which is, according to several board members on the PRCA, a pretty big bump up from what they're getting from Las Vegas events. So it really comes down to the prize money that will be doled out to the Cowboys. It's a big bump, and that seems to be driving the decision at this point.
Now, Las Vegas Events had made an offer right after the rodeo wrapped up here, but the association's board voted to reject it. Tell us a little bit about that offer and how it compared to the one offered by Osceola County.
Well, according to Pat Christensen, this offer actually was made a year and a half ago, and they've been basically waiting around for the PRCA to respond to their offer. And apparently other host communities besides Osceola County, Florida, have been trying to lure this event from Las Vegas. From what I understand from Osceola County, it's the 24,000-seat arena and also at least $16 million a year. Of the $16 million being offered by Osceola County, it's unclear to me how much of that money is actually going to be prize money. So we still have to nail that down.
The odd thing is that right after that vote, where the association's board voted in favor of Florida, the association voted to continue negotiations with Las Vegas Events. Why did that agency think the rodeo had already made up its mind about moving to Florida?
Yeah, that's a question I asked Pat Christensen point blank, and I guess it just comes down to miscommunication or some creative leveraging, I suppose. But I asked Pat point blank, were you aware that according to the board chairman of the PRCA, who's Keith Martin, who runs the rodeo down in San Antonio, Keith Martin told me point blank that they voted 9-0 in favor of making a counter offer to Las Vegas. And I asked Pat Christensen, were you told that? Were you informed of that? Because why did you look at the 6-3 rejection vote as the final word? And Pat says that they were unaware of the subsequent 9-0 vote to make a counteroffer from the PRCA. And he basically took the 6-3 vote to reject his offer, combined with the Osceola County Commission action that very same day, as basically PRCA is out after 2014. But when I interviewed Keith Martin on Monday, he said he was basically confused about Mr. Christensen's comments, and said that they voted to make a counteroffer, and I suppose the commissioner of the PRCA, Carl Stressman, is now charged with making a counteroffer to Las Vegas events. Pat told me on Monday that they'd be willing to listen, but it has to be quick, and that this thing has to be wrapped up in 2 weeks.
Well, I got to wonder, Alan, in the middle of all this and listening to the different sides kicking it around, has anybody asked the fans what they want, if they prefer Orlando or Las Vegas?
Well, from what I gather, the fans like Las Vegas because, your first question was about what kind of impact it has on Las Vegas. And I think more people come to Las Vegas, they love the rodeo environment, but they just love the fact that Las Vegas becomes a Western cowboy town for 10 days. And from downtown Las Vegas through the Strip to South Point, the entire corridor really becomes a cowboy-themed town. People just love to come here. The fans love to come here to go to the Cowboy Christmas and the Fan Fest at the Las Vegas Convention Center. The fans love Las Vegas. According to the board members who I talked with, they also love Las Vegas. And there's also been the issue of the fact that most of the contestants, and I would dare say most of the fans, probably come from west of the Mississippi to Las Vegas for this event. And there's already been some complaints about the fact that if the event does move to Central Florida, that's a lot of traveling and a lot of moving of animals across the country for this event. So from what I understand, I think the fans do love coming to Las Vegas. Kissimmee, Florida is not exactly Las Vegas. I mean, it's about 40 minutes from Orlando. It's about 20 minutes from Disney World. I mean, Disney World is within range. But I think people come to Las Vegas not only to watch the rodeo, but to immerse themselves in the entire cowboy culture, the Western lifestyle that is really neat. I mean, I suggest people, this event, whether it goes to Florida or not, is here in Las Vegas for one more year in 2014. Get over to that convention center and just see that whole scene there because you have basically a Western-themed country mall that just springs up in that convention center along with the Fan Fest. So I think there's a lot for the fans to offer, even if you don't go to the rodeo event itself.
Alan Snell is a reporter for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Alan, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's been a